Kogias, I've been a lot of other stuff. Any yaoi fans in the room? I've been Misaki in Junto Romantico. Yeah, and some other stuff that you might see later, I don't know.
Hello, my name is Sara Breidenbach. I am also an amateur voice actress. Well, he's an actor.
Sure.
Voices I normally get. Thank you. Voices I normally get cast for are things like Action Girls or The Boy Voice or things like that. And I'll pass it on to him.
Well, while Techie here still gets our tech running, my name is Luke Word. I specialize in everything, but mostly larger, handy characters. One of my better roles is Gilgamesh, and that's one of my funnest roles. But I dabble in a lot of everything. The hero, the villain, the goofy side character. Try to do what I can. Techie?
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Anath Jackson. I don't really specialize in anything, I'm kind of jack of all trades. I do this, that, and the other. With my very medium register, I've been all over the place. Been hero, villain, sidekick, goofball, your choice.
Who here likes Oran High School Host Club? He's been Kyoya.
Yes, I have, Daddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty. Okay, I love how you just passed the baton. Alright. Uses baton pass. Yes. So, basically, what we'll probably go over first is some of the software you can get to make it a lot easier to record, so you don't need to like spend thousands of dollars on very expensive recording equipment when you're just starting out. So you just want to get some practice in. There are free projects. Programs. Thank you. I need a script. I'm useless with that one. So basically, there's things that you've heard of.
That's why we have full copies of these.
Okay, so other things that will be covered aside from just the programs we have are different mics, areas that will be have heavy voice acting stuff. But yes, we are going to start with the software. Different recording software, the free, not so free, very expensive. So we'll start with Audacity. Audacity is pretty much the best one to start with. It's very, very, very free. It's on the internet, legally free, so pick up the beta, make sure you can convert anything to MP3, and it's a fine one to start with.
It's a nice, simple program. It's got easy commands, a few special effects in case you're doing something like robots, little extra monster effects. It's got echoes and reverb and stuff like that. So it's a very nice program to start out with. And even if you go into the real intricacies of the program, you can sometimes get more advanced effects. But if you want to go any farther than basic recording, you're probably going to want to get into stuff that you'll actually have to purchase.
Speaking of which, Sarah, don't you own one that we would have to purchase normally?
Yes, I do. I own something called Pro Tools, and it is the industry standard. I have Pro Tools LE8. It comes with a little box, and you hook it up to the computer, and you get one of these mics.
Yeah.
Another one that we tend to use, it's actually one that I use personally, is Adobe Audition. Mine's an older model, it wasn't as expensive, it's Adobe Audition 1.5, but still, Audition is just as great, it's not the industry standard per se, it gets an honorable mention, so that's nice. There are others, there are things like SoundForge, GoldWave,
GarageBand.
Anything that you can record sound onto can be of use, though. The Windows audio recorder that you find on any PC, don't use that. Don't use it. Still, it has there's plenty of reasons why. Just take us out of work with this one. See, have you used any audio recording?
Not any audio recording that I can think of. We should move on to microphones.
Let's move on to microphones.
How many of you have Rock Band? You can use that. I use that.
Microphone is an excellent starting microphone to use. It's a good USB one. because a lot of them are USB. You can buy them separately. Yeah, USB microphones. The Logitech USB desktop microphone is another good starter one. It's nice and cheap. Got mine for $20 to $30, and I use that to start out with. And got from Best Buy, probably get from, once they start to save, I think they're out of business now. Fry's.
No, they're still in business.
They're still in business?
Yeah.
I love how you drop in lane. I love how you drop in lanes like they're gonna pay us or something. Also, if you have the extra money, there's a lot of things that people look for now are the Samsung series, like Samsung CO1U, CO3U. Those ones are the Snowballs, Yetis, Himalayas. No, I'm kidding.
And again, that's like what we said with the software, where it can take you as far as you can go, and eventually you're going to outgrow your mic, where you're going to need to do more difficult yells, more difficult screams, more difficult techniques. And eventually you're going to have to upgrade, which is what I had to do. And now I have a $200 CO3U. But,
so yeah, you heard Luke talk about the basic starting mics, anything Logitech. The Logitech mics are all fantastic for starting. Rock Band is actually pretty good for more than just starting. You can get a lot done with it. Myself and Luke, we use the Samsung series. I use the CO1U, this is the CO3U. They're fantastic. They're pricey.
Why don't you explain the difference between the two?
Well, the basic difference between the two is that he can adjust the sound on his mic directly. It's probably one of the bigger things. Another thing is that his is omnidirectional, which means it'll pick up from all sides, much like the mics we're using now. Whereas the CO1U is a left-only, I think, which is fine. I use it.
There we go.
I use it and it works wonderfully. But there are others, like the ones we're using, which Sarah, don't you use one of the mics we're using?
Yeah, I use a Shure SM58. It's one of the, basically why I use it is because it has a little,
SM58?
yeah, Shure SM58.
Wow.
Yeah. And what it does, you have to have a little XY cord that plugs into the box of Pro Tools. So you need probably one of these mics. Or just a condenser mic that has that kind of feature. I like my mic. It's awesome.
We got that going. Oh, we do. Haha. That's for later.
So that's for later. Before we move on, because that's pretty much going to get out of the way of the very basic stuff that we want you to know, the equipment that you might want to have. Is there any other equipment you want us to go over? Anything you want us to re-explain? Any questions?
After the first like 5 minutes.
What are the free downloadable software?
The free downloadable softwares to use for recording purposes are things like Audacity, and you can find that just by searching Audacity, Audacity.
I also believe, and I'm really hoping I'm right here, that WavePad is also free.
It was recently made free.
WavePad is another one, so there's at least two.
I believe WavePad has a trial.
Alright, so I'm sorry, maybe it may be
If you just keep redoing the trial, they don't care.
But yeah, I mean, those two should be fine for a while, so you get a little bit of money and maybe want to move up to something else. And of course, as with all software, the older models usually aren't that bad. They put out newer ones every year that do more. It's fine. You know, the old one, like I said, Adobe Audition has, I think, a 4.0 now. I'm still using 1.5. Works wonders. So never feel the need to go get the brand new thing that's out there. Save your money. You're gonna need it.
Mm-hmm. Something else we can talk about are the main places where you can go to do networking. There are actually social websites that are free to join. There are some pay to play ones, but some of the more notable ones are ones like the Voice Acting Alliance. If you've heard of that, that's where we all are. There's also the Voice Acting Club, VoxBox, and of course YouTube, where you can go and just meet people, audition for projects, things like that. And they're totally free. And there are some really good people there, hidden amongst the weeds.
Diamond in the rough.
So to speak. With those sites we put out there now, do any of you do this? Do any of you have any amateur voice actors in the house?
Ooh.
I got one.
Okay.
There you go. So yeah, we have a couple. It's very nice. Just YouTube VAA, no, YouTube VAA. You know VAA?
Yeah, she's open.
Anyway, so you
Don't mind our bickering. We all hate each other.
Just on.
I'm on YouTube. I did a couple bridge series and fan videos.
Well, there you go. That's fun. And while we're here, anyone do anything else to sing on YouTube or anything like that?
Is there any singers?
No? Alright, well let's do it.
I saw hands.
I'm nervous now.
I'm not on YouTube yet.
But yeah, all these sites are fantastic. It goes beyond networking. These are people that you can like legitimately become friends with. Get out here, start your own panels. Not that we totally haven't done that or anything.
All right.
So yeah, no, it's fantastic. I mean, the more people you meet, the more you can get done. The more connections you have, the more friends you have. So there you go.
Anything to add? Hold on, let's check the magic paper.
As we totally in our paper that we printed out.
So, how many of you are like actors? You know what auditioning is. You know the process. All right, we get stuff to explain.
Sweet. All right. Actually, before we do that, let's get something out of the way. And it's true for everything you do, ever, anytime, anywhere with any person. You have to have a certain amount. You have to know the etiquette of what you're doing. You have to know the rules. You have to be you have to be a human being. But I think it's a given. And you have to be able to play nice, even when you don't want to, even when you think they're not playing nice. You always have to do it. Say this, you can consider this not so much amateur at the beginning. You should be able to start a job right after this. You should be able to already be a professional. Not just in terms of the quality of what you're putting out, but the quality as a human being. So, hi guys. No? Okay.
They don't like
I was distracted by the very loud maids outside.
But yes, I mean, like all things, you have to have the right etiquette. You have to, please, thank you goes a long way.
Yes.
Not getting mad when someone tries to help you out. When critiques are given, real good critiques that mean something. You have to realize they're trying to help you, so don't blow up.
As the same with most directors want you to be good. They don't like have you come in and be like, wow, I hope this person sucks. No, they want you to be amazing, so it makes their jobs easier. It makes their project better, and it just makes everybody happier in the end. Happy.
Also, you don't want to beg for roles.
No.
They don't like that at all.
Sometimes you may be scouted, like, oh, I heard your demo reel, which is something we'll touch on later.
Yeah.
And they'll say, hey, why don't you come on by and, record some lines, and you'll be like, sweet. Or not. But yeah, mostly it's just audition process, and, sometimes it takes a while to get in the door and to get your first role. It took me a little while, and yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like all things, being patient, being kind, willing to learn, willing to help, willing to be you have to be willing not to be the main character every time, first and foremost, because that's actually a big thing. Be willing to do whatever is asked of you.
every project's gonna have that Joe Schmo, that everyman, the guy who just needs to die in the background.
Voice the rock in the corner for me.
Yes.
Soldier A!
Soldier A! But
I thought there wasn't such thing. Small character, small actor.
Oh, that's a very good quote right there.
Say that. No actor should ever consider themselves small. You're just as important as anyone else. People may not know of you yet. That's how
I think what she means is that even like with smaller roles that don't really exist, that you have to play to the best of your ability. It just goes back to the whole quote, go big or go home.
That's very true. Alright, now,
Listen
totally
to that.
ignoring the yelling outside that's drowning us out, even though we have mics and speakers and
Listen to
pretty technology.
We've established the etiquette, and I know that's something we probably shouldn't have to go over, but we do.
Yeah.
And now we can actually get into the process by which you get your role.
Fun stuff!
Yes,
The meat of the sandwich!
Oh my God! You have your mic. You have your recording software. What do you do now?
You didn't say nothing.
So, all right,
You smelling boy.
you have everything. Now what do you do? So, Sarah, what do we do now?
Well, you pick out a project that you're interested in, and what usually happens is the person in charge will have a set of lines for a certain character. So you go and record the lines, and then you have to match the delivery that they're looking for. Sometimes people will ask for multiple takes in one line, so be prepared for that. And then you send them over, and then you wait.
Yep. And you wait, and you wait.
There's a lot of waiting. Just like with actual auditioning.
Yeah, you're going to be waiting by the phone.
Just like the actual process, there's a lot of auditioning, there's a lot of waiting, and you're going to get cast a lot less than what you auditioned for.
Perseverance is key.
And I mean, I'm sure you'll hear if you've gone to any of the professionals, the ones that you know by name, who are here today.
The ones obsessed with partying.
Totally not talking about Liam or anything. We love you, Liam! No, but they'll all say the same thing, and it's a very hard thing to do. You have to be willing to wait, and this should not be considered just because we're not getting paid for this. It doesn't mean that we're not going through the same exact thing that they are. We're every bit auditioning out there. We're getting cast third of the time, less.
We're just not getting paid.
About every 20 auditions, you might get 1 or 2 roles.
I mean, there's a sharp parallel between what we do and what they do. I mean, the difference is they get money.
Yeah.
We're trying to get our name out. So.
Yep. You got to be able to deal with rejection.
So yeah, I mean, throughout this whole thing, we will be drawing a lot of strong parallels between the professionals and the amateurs. And to be honest, I think that it's hard to say amateur because there's that horrible connotation that, oh, well,
they don't know what they're doing, man.
We're
but in something like this, the ideas are so similar that it just carries right over. So I mean, yeah, that's the auditioning process and the contrasts and similarities between the professional stuff. So anything anyone would like to add?
There's also critiques. Sometimes people will ask the director for critiques. And are we? Yes, we are. Okay.
Well, a critique is basically like what you did right, what could be improved upon, and how to improve upon it. Like the director might have tips. So that was really good. Like Sarah, say hi there. My name's Sarah.
Hi there. My name is Sarah.
All right, that was really happy, really peppy. You're supposed to be getting shot though, and you just don't realize it. So what I need is like a more, in pain. Yeah, you could try that by this.
We're looking for a happy set.
Yeah, we're looking for a happy set. Yeah. Whereas an opposite critique is not like that. It's like I don't like it, go away. And that's not a good critique.
And exactly, anyone who sits down and takes time out of their day to write a semi-detailed to detailed critique saying what you did well, what you can improve upon, what they like personally, but be able to take one stage. That's something to really take into consideration. Again, like the directors, like the editors, in this case, since we don't really have directors, it's really the person who's putting it together. They want you to do well, your audience always wants you to do well because your odds are you're covering something that they love, something that they don't want to see done badly. So really take into account what anyone says. If they say, even if you get those ones to say, I like it and I don't, you have to take those into consideration too. If they like it, they liked it. If they didn't, keep an eye out for the comments that may explain why certain people did not.
It just goes back to the whole be nice thing, because even if they're like all up in your face, like, then all you gotta do is like, thank you very much, and you gotta move on. It's just like regular auditions. It's like once it's done, you send it in, and you don't think about it, because that's just gonna kill you inside.
And if you get like trolled or just get a lot of constructive criticism, like, I felt you could have done this better, don't feel discouraged. Take it into heart and then keep trying.
With a grain of salt.
Okay, so now we covered the auditioning. I think I will move on a bit to another way you could get cast. And that's through your demo reel, through scouting, of course. You'll oftentimes hear VAs say, oh my god, it was my favorite moment when I was young and I got my first role that I didn't have to audition for. They called me. Same idea. You have a demo reel about a minute and a half long, showing your abilities, what you think you do well, showing off your full range of emotion, your acting ability, your accent, if you can do it. And people see that. If you put it out there, someone's going to see it. Someone may want you in that project because of what you're able to do.
I think that would be a good time to show them an example.
Now would be a fantastic time to show you an example. Ladies and gentlemen, would you like to see an animation reel?
A see, we're going to show you a couple throughout we're going to show you one right now.
Now we have two versions.
Yes.
We have one version that's all of us, and we also have our own little separate one. So we'd like to take a little poll. Now, who would want to see all of them together?
Just all at once. Just
All at once.
room.
You would? Really?
I told you.
Okay. And just to see, and separately?
Have it broken up throughout. See.
Okay. Too bad.
Sorry, y'all got uploaded. Alright,
we
so
go.
I'll show you the complete version. Enjoy it.
It'll work.
Please don't.
Cut your throat.
Now,
No sound.
okay, so that is amazing.
I know.
That is amazing.
You are awesome.
So, okay, technical difficulties aside, this is fantastic. You'll have to take our word for it as someone goes out and tries to get down.
Yeah.
So, alright,
That's why he was down there already.
yeah.
Of course, saw the problem.
We'll get back to that. But yeah, demo realtor, they're very important. These are your calling cards, people. These are where people will hear your voice and they haven't heard you something before. This is something to take it seriously. I mean, examples. I have an example. If you want to hear a more in-depth version of what we'll be telling you later, with more specific examples, there are two places you can check out. First is MasaVox, which you know more about than I.
MasaVox, done by an associate of mine, MoscoX, you would know him from Naruto Bridge, Team 4-Star, and it's thanks to him that gave me my final push to start voice acting, because I signed up for the site, the Voice Acting Alliance, and I was thinking about it, should I audition for this? I got a couple voices, should I audition for this? And then it was right around this time that Moscow started his MasaVox series. So I watched a couple episodes, I was like, you know what? I got the mic, I'm all signed up, here's a project I want to go for. I went for it. I got cast! And the project never went anywhere.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's going to happen. Actually, more often than not, that's what's going to happen. Just, okay. There's various reasons. Either the person got too busy, they lost the stuff, people quit the project and they couldn't recast the characters. It's another thing that's just comes with the territory.
And the other one that I'll bring up, and totally not pandering or anything, but the finest book out there for those who want to start. Voiceover voice actor as written by Yuri Lowenthal and Tara Platt, who are here today.
Yes, that is
And they're
very...
totally not selling their book and warm-up DVD out during the autograph line.
But
Wink.
Not right here.
But in all complete seriousness, this is a fantastic book. It has
They will also sign.
it not only has what we're going to say and more, it has testimonials from other VAs who get a unique insight into the behind the scenes of voice acting. And it goes beyond just what we're going to talk about. We're essentially just going to stick to the voice acting bits. But to those who are interested in how directors work with you, how the editor might affect what you do, it's all in there. So, while we wait, we will move on a bit to You Got a Script. So, you've been cast. Woo! What now?
What was that noise? That is a fine example of what the rock in the corner would sound like. Rock in the corner?
You betcha.
Alright, well, we have some, we're really lucky in comparison to the professionals. When we get a script, we have the lovely chance of sitting down and reading it. I advise you do that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Your script.
much like stage acting, on-screen acting, we have a chance to sit down, read our script, get really comfortable with it. We get to
learn and understand our characters. We get to see what the other characters are going to say. We know how they're going to respond.
So that's fantastic. I mean, after that, I mean, you also have the lines you have to read through. There will always be direction in the script. Let me rephrase that. There will hopefully be direction in the script. And I mean, when you read the script, you have to read the script. You have to be able to do everything that's in there.
So you know what you're doing.
Because unfortunately, in this, you don't have a director standing there. You don't have someone going,
You don't have somebody on
I'm
the
sorry,
side
that line just didn't work. I didn't feel the intense sorrow, happiness, that subtle feeling.
I didn't get the happy set.
I'm sorry. No, this game, it's all up to you the first time around, and if you don't do it well, odds are you'll be asked to redo it, which is fine. I mean, you should be completely cool with that. You don't want anything less than what your actual best is out there, so. But it's something to keep in mind. There was plenty more.
After you've been cast, of course. That's what directors are there to do, is they're to guide you, and if they think you could do something better or different, then they say, okay, awesome, these lines were great. There are a couple lines that we'll like pick up on, and then they'll walk through and be like, try and do it better this way, or this, not better, I shouldn't say better. Just try and like change it up, give me a couple different takes, see what works, and sometimes new stuff that director didn't think would work, works really great, and they're like, I didn't see that coming. And, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, are we boring now? I am feeling bad.
Should we start just
I
taking
think
some
someone should
questions?
get us to amuse our crowd.
Oh my gosh, finally. I don't know.
Yes, watch the speaker. There you go.
Okay, now that we have that up and off the way, we can really get your insight now that
There you go.
Yeah.
so I can hear you. Alright, so
I like standing.
there's more descripting. I mean, odds are you will not be doing prelay. Prelay is essentially what the Western animation is, where you voice something and then they animate to your voice. Odds are you will be dubbing over something. And so, lip syncing is important. Take a couple listens to what the reference is. You don't know what it is? Hello, Predator.
What's up? Soga King.
But no, I mean, like all things, you have to get used to what you're doing, so. Lip syncing, there are a couple of techniques to lip syncing. I'm sure you all have plenty that you like to watch, some show you love dearly.
Like, let's take the Predator, for example. He has no lips. It is very hard to lip sync to the Predator. And Soga King, he has no actual mouth. Again, actually, in this case, it makes it much easier to lip sync to a character with Soga King, because it's just this. It's much easier to dub this, but you still have to get, but when you have, like, just a mask or no face, then
Another notable character with that kind of thing is Kakashi from Naruto.
Your voice has to
Go on,
convey
voice.
all the emotions and the history of that character so that they really feel your performance with actual acting. So voice
love your
acting,
hair.
voice acting isn't just
Oh my gosh!
Sorry. Alright, so we promised you.
For those who just walked in, we're about to show you a little visual reel of what some of our finished stuff has been like. Examples of what we can do.
So, ladies and gentlemen, these are our ugly mugs, and you will see them before each animation reel.
So you know what voice is
and
whose,
you can
'cause-
see what we've all been up to recently.
It's required. Very fashionable. Gino, I know you're from a great noble family, but can't you act more normal? By the way, you're amazingly heavy.
Maybe, let me up, will ya?
No way! I'm
I'm the king of this here castle. You're king of nothing. Oh yeah! The rich mushroomy cream sauce. Special Makoto love omelet, accompanied with the pinkest of pickles. Not to mention the raspberry pecan chocolate chip cheesecake for dessert.
I don't want to feel like this anymore. What if I keep feeling like this?
Try it out, get it! Yuck, 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 yuck! Ah! Oh, thank God!
Here we go.
Well, that's too bad. I was planning on helping you, if you were nice.
SacAnime, he's going. You're lucky to have us around. But you can't always rely on us to rescue you every time.
If only he had your knowledge.
Right, then you wouldn't be protected.
It's a good thing you're here to teach him then.
Yeah, good thing I'm here to... Huh? Wait a minute, warrior!
You arrogant fool! No one has ever survived direct combat.
No, vampire. This is where it ends. But you won't be leaving this room. Now, let's finish this. I'll make it mercifully quick. If the world comes to an end, that's bad news, right? So the only choice that leaves is to try and protect us. And again, it could be a little tough the way things are. What were these, what are they? Munchkins? I felt its grip loosen, and as the blade left me, its absence chilled me more than its presence ever had. So, this is what I've longed for ever since that day. The destruction and loss of everything. And ladies and gentlemen, that was
I gotta say first, Travis Willingham kicked your ass.
Yeah, you totally did, man. Well, we'll help stream now.
But
Yes, sir, you kicked your own ass.
Many times.
Yes, I did.
Wow. So now I feel you have a better idea of what we as individuals are capable of. And there was a lot we couldn't show, unfortunately, but we didn't want to bore you to tears with 8 minutes of this. So,
Or did we?
well, there will be time. We will take requests.
We'll take questions and requests later.
Alright, so now that you've seen an animation reel, I mean, a demo reel is essentially the same thing without
the pretty
flashy
pictures.
I mean, the idea is to show what you're capable of. Big things to show are full range of emotion: happy, sad, angry, bittersweet. Happy, sad.
Always gotta have that happy sad.
If you can, and it's, I won't lie, it's incredibly difficult. You can show real subtle emotions. That's picking up and starting to be used more and more. It's not just that very direct theatrical approach, which a lot of us know and love from the different animes.
Like a good example is your Legacy of King stuff that you had in your
Yeah, that's definitely a lot more subtle than say. Let's go with Megatron. Matrix Galvatron there.
Something I'm going to jump in here and add while they're having a little voice off is, well, in demos you show everything you can do, but at the same time you got to try and keep it, because most agents and people these days, they don't have time to listen to a 5-minute long demo. They're going to be like, how long is this? Oh, it's 3.5 minutes. And they're going to chuck it. Whereas if you can throw as much as you can, as fast as you can, into
60 seconds.
Yeah, 60 seconds or less. Something, not like, oh, it's a 5-second demo. No. But about a minute long of just everything you can do, usually starting off with your natural voice so they hear you first off.
Yeah,
like
something you always want to put at the beginning of demo reels, like mine would be Luke Word 2011 fall demo reel.
It's like, hey, it's great to see you after school. Bam, that's you. You don't want to start out with something crazy.
Yeah, you want to have to start off with your neutral voice. They want to know what you sound like.
Because more often than not, I mean, the majority of voice actors, and the reason why you can always pick them out are cast for that natural voice. Because that's what you're going to be, it's horrible, but that's the truth. You're going to be cast for your natural voice because that's the voice you're going to be able to do the most with. But there are exceptions to that. And another thing to do is, I mean, on demos, don't feel that you need to have all of one, using one pitch and then move on to another. You can mix it up. Maybe you're an orc. Maybe you're an English orc. Maybe you're a Spanish orc.
Hola, I am here to eat you up.
And as much, I mean, you laugh. I mean, that's it's.
You will get asked to play that
It shows
at some point.
Incredible ability. So I mean, and yeah, I mean, have comedy, have sorrow, have very serious.
Luke's had to rip out his own heart before.
Oh well. Anywho, I mean, as far as demos go, because there's such a big part, and we do want you to know about them. Do you have any questions?
Questions? I see hands. Well, accents are sometimes pretty hard.
Accents,
you know, with training it gets a little easier.
Accents, I mean, it's definitely something a lot of us put time into. I mean, to be honest, I grew up with a different one, so
He's tropical.
No, so I've actually learned a handful of different ones. Some people that's actually not the case for. Some people, they don't do it, they know that when they try, it's not going to sound right, and you can't put in something that's kind of half-baked. Someone will hear that, someone who knows what a proper accent sounds like, and they'll throw it out immediately. They'll say, well, obviously, he thinks it's a joke.
Yeah, I can't do stuff.
So you have to take it seriously. It's an absolute must. If you're going to learn something, learn all of it.
Yeah. Put your all go big or go home. It goes back to that. We've come full circle.
But then,
Sarah, do you have a question?
No, I was going to pick someone else because I didn't.
Well, I'm going to pick that person. So.
I was going to pick that person.
You have my hat.
Well, then, we're both going to pick that person?
Two questions.
Okay. What is for voice acting? Because all I've done is like small girls. Like I'll do like little girls. Like I did Kirby from Oron and stuff. And like, should I? Because I don't really have any other range in voice acting. Should I just do a whole bunch of different little girl voices, or like?
Just put to a good subject. Expanding your range.
It's something that's going to take time. It is. It's something that takes years. Well, maybe months, but it's not a quick process. You have to be willing to sit down and do warm-ups, do things that'll make you look stupid, to be honest.
Again, warm-up theory by you. No one told that.
Tim, you want to demonstrate the warm-up giggles?
No, I'm not going to demonstrate.
Do it! Do it!
I totally do you.
And on the exhale, you just open your mouth as wide as you can. And you would normally do that multiple times, you know, before a session, or you know, you got your sirens are like, and you may do that, or I know Steve Bloom talks about just going lay lee lie lo loo la, and just going through the alphabet with the different vowels in there, and he wants the giggles. So this is something we actually got in a yoga class. That's something very important. Take classes.
Absolutely.
Because the first part of voice acting is not voice acting. You gotta go act and other voice acting. So basically giggles are, you know, take a deep breath, you know, you're gonna exhale, and you know the different vowels like hoo, ha, he, or, things like that. Don't giggle at that. H-O-R.
H-O-R. You amateur people.
A big part is the diaphragm. When you're breathing, you get a full breath, you know, the diaphragm expands, all that good stuff. And normally you just go, ooh, and that kind of stuff is good. But with giggles, you get a bit more like jumpiness in your throat. So you go,
Not that.
But yeah, I mean, you're not, if you're looking into a mirror, you're going to think you look like an idiot. But
if you're trying to look cool,
it's not going to happen. It's important because the reason you look stupid, and you don't look, I mean, you're not going to look pretty. Unless you're just amazing. Which you
Like her.
But the reason why you don't look funny is because you're, you're flexing your face in these weird ways to loosen your jaw, your tongue, get the cheeks nice, limber, so you can do things. And hey, maybe you want to apply them in other aspects of life, but we won't get into that.
Really?
But yeah,
eating cereal should not be like. It's gonna get everywhere.
What about marching band?
To answer your question there, love, the idea for all of that is because when you have we have everything relaxed and willing to work, your voice will naturally have a greater range. But don't think that just these warm-ups are gonna get you to that full low voice. Can you do a demonstration?
I think he was going for something different.
Hello, SacAnime. How is everyone doing this fine afternoon?
We're doing well.
It's still morning.
No, it's not. Don't lie to me.
That reminds me of something I should have said earlier.
It's 11:44.
I should have said this earlier.
Still morning.
Are you guys enjoying SacAnime? Very good. Very good. This place is amazing. We should have said that at the start, people.
Hey, they were having a good time. I was asking them if we were boring them. Good to know that neither is true. Good to see they came in having a good time. Good time, good outlook.
And this dude's got a Ninja Turtle shirt, and that's freaking awesome. I can't stop staring. It's just like, bam. It's like, how long?
But yeah, I mean, you have to warm up. You have to work at it. Work.
Yeah. It took me forever to get a low range, and it's not even near his over there. I got
my comes from years of making stupid voices.
Exactly. Fine. Exactly.
Lemon face.
But yeah, did we actually answer your question the way?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Anyone else?
Any more questions? Bam. Networking? Voice acting websites? The Voice Acting Alliance? YouTube?
Never been on it.
Oh, YouTube is basically, well, what's YouTube?
It's a video site, like
Millions of videos posted by all sorts of people.
Don't listen to them. YouTube is nothing but catfish, I swear. Catfish and people fall down.
A&D.
But yeah, no, YouTube is just it's a video upload site where it's open to everyone. So.
If you take a video of your
Cat.
So long as it's age appropriate, so long as there's nothing being flashed about.
Look at my cat attacking a fake goldfish cracker. And it could be 30 seconds and it'll get like 5,000 views. People will be like, that cat is stupid. And it'll get like 5,000 views.
What about the keyboard cat?
Keyboard cat.
Yeah.
Cat, lol cat.
They'll just steal it with me. How can we compare it to cat videos?
If somebody can find a lol cat video on YouTube that has more hits than Justin Bieber's Baby, I will give you like $50.
I want it. I'll do it.
Good luck.
Okay, so I saw another hand up. Where?
And popping your peas. That is where, thank you. Popping your peas is very pointless to do.
Yeah, so there is another piece of equipment called a pop filter, which is very cheap. I got a very good one for $15.
And I made.
There's also the popper stopper, which is,
Essentially, a pop filter is a little coaxial, there's a little hook right here, a little coaxial neck, and a screen for right in front of your mic.
By the way, coaxial just means
it moves. I'm sorry. I like big words.
Think bendy straw.
Bendy straw. Bendy straw.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. But anyways, basically, and it puts a bit of a screen in front, so you can't hear me the same, but it doesn't have this much of an effect because it's like a very thin screen. But you can also, other than the popper stopper, which is probably what most pros use and what studios use, you can also do what I did and use a coat hanger, a cross-stitching hoop thing, and some nylon, and just bust that out and it has the same effect.
And if you don't have one of those and you want to go home and just do that tonight, another way is never speak directly into the mic.
You really don't want to talk this close to the mic.
It's just have a little offset so when you go poop, it goes this way and
oh please. See that?
So I mean,
think the regular distance is about.
It's just something you have to be aware of. Even with a pop screen, it's just something you're going to have to be aware of.
You shouldn't just be like.
It comes with practice. It comes with placement, how far you are away from the mic.
Sometimes also it can.
How sensitive your mic is. It really is just going to depend on what mic you have, what's your recording environment, and how far away you are from your mic.
Another technique to help that is sometimes you can go a little bit off mic, and it's not nearly as bad as that.
Like say here we can do this bit, and you got that, but when we over here,
and it's
a lot less.
But you
now
can
if I
still
back up,
hear us just fine.
got nothing.
So I saw a hand up.
Hand. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yes, it actually is.
Yes. That is actually probably the best place to put an amateur demo.
Because that's where it'll get the most views normally, because they'll just post it and be like, bam, and you know, even if you don't think it'll do well, usually within a couple months you'll have at least 50 to 100 views, and while not compared to just a beep.
He's not better than nothing.
That little.
Moving right along, because this isn't about just a beaver hate.
But yes, so yes, YouTube definitely awesome.
I know you do. I'm curious where you guys do your voice acting.
In my bedroom.
In my walk-in closet.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we technically what we do can be done anywhere. Let me rephrase.
Not on a freeway. We're not telling you to go out and play in traffic. Put in a safe, quiet, closed-off environment.
Exactly. Anywhere where there's not a lot of ambient sound.
Hardwood floors aren't good. Carpet.
Yeah.
From my house, I have incredibly loud crickets.
I have neighbors that.
I was in my room. I closed my windows. I'm afraid of the crickets, so I'm going to be too loud tonight, and I record.
Yeah.
I mean, like Luke, I just record in my room. I have a corner of it sectioned off. There's some carpeting around so that it soaks up the sound so it's not bouncing off everywhere. And that's about it. I mean, I just have my equipment. If you're really lucky, you'll have a walk-in closet, like I believe Sarah does.
Or a friend with a studio.
Yeah,
walk-in closet.
Walk-in closet hybrid studio thing. But what I did was I went to the store, I bought like these thick blanket carpet things. I stapled them to the wall. I haven't helped, but I stapled them to the wall, almost covered, so you got like this covering almost all across my wall. And then I have this like pseudo desk thing, which is really just a drawer, and I put my laptop on it and I hook up the box and I sit on my exercise ball because I don't have a chair, and I record.
So yeah, I mean, it can really be done. Anywhere where there's not ambient noise, anywhere that your mic isn't going to be picking up traffic. Because the last thing you want to hear is, I love you.
Or you know, if you live at my house, it's always just like, you get the random lines like, give me back my boxers, if anybody who likes fairy tale, Grateful Buster. Give me back my boxers. Yeah, what are you talking about? Shut up, Mom. Leave me, I don't want to do that. Eat your own grilled cheese sandwich.
Or I mean, sometimes you get a really funny encounter, which is something along the lines of, ah! Oh my God, are you okay? Fine, I swear.
Or something that Liam O'Brien would say is, you know, you recording something like, grenade, get down! And that can get really awkward, especially if you don't hear it, if you don't listen to your own recording and you send it in and like, what's this? What is this? Well, guess what? We're keeping it. And they'll do that. Especially if they have spiteful directors.
If definitely you have a sensitive enough mic, it will pick up everything.
Microphones in professional studios can hear your food digest. That is not my word. That is Kyla Ager.
All the sounds here, all the sounds down here, all the sounds back there.
Oh, something that I just realized. something that you can do to help with lip smacking, like that kind of noise between lines of words that might pick up. You know, normal stuff like drink water, but not too much that you get all sloshy and junk in there. Is actually green apples. I'm sure people have heard of it, but it's actually not just the apple, it's the juice itself that actually, thank you. Somebody over there said yes. I don't even know what you were saying it for.
But yeah, to the point where you don't even actually have to eat the apple, just bite into it, and I guess it causes you to,
bite and suck. The juice of the green apple, and it's delicious.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are the people I have to live with this weekend. Thank you.
He sleeps on the floor.
I do. I'm terrified. We have to call this there.
You.
If you're taking straight subs and you wanted to dub it, what would you do exactly?
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, up on here with me, I'm going to actually adapt scripts. So, it's all of us. Yeah. So I think we'll all have something different to say then. I mean, what I do is I literally just look at it, and you look at the subs and you just have to time it. It's all about syllables, not words.
How do you take out the vocals that they play and make it so the sound effects are still in?
We'll get there at the very end.
Okay.
I think that's a wrap.
That goes into editing, which we'll go into in a little bit.
Wait, why don't we just cover it real quick?
Because no, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm here.
I tried to answer your question.
Thank you.
I promise we'll come back.
Okay.
Question,
so the last couple questions before we try to move on to the last one for that way.
I was just wondering, what if you don't like this? Sometimes you record your voice and it sounds really like, that doesn't sound like me at all.
Your voice out here probably will never sound like your voice in here.
Oh no, it never does.
I have James O'Joy's in my head, I feel like Billy Zane. I'm the sexiest man alive.
It would be really disturbing if my real voice sounded like this.
So yeah,
I'd be like, wow, I don't match that at all.
I'd be disturbed. His voice sounded like that too. But no, your voice honestly probably won't ever quite sound like how you imagine how it sounds when
How it sounds in your head.
Not that you're crazy or nothing. It kind of happens.
No, the sound actually bounces around in your head.
So yeah, I mean, you'll never quite sound like that. You just have to come to peace with how you sound when you're speaking and how other people are going to hear you and kind of manipulate that to the very best of your abilities. Alright, so last question that we
Say the best you can do is just edit.
How do you all personally handle projects that have really rapid dialogue?
Alright, when it comes to...
I think Tim has an answer.
Go ahead.
Deep breath, talk really fast.
Best way to do it, if you've ever seen, what's the name of the method behind the voice acting system?
Adventures in Voice Acting?
Big Man has a perfect little snippet in there where he literally takes a bite out of his apple, takes a big old deep breath, and what I think he has to do now is he just goes through it all.
And he does this. It's like one of his short rants.
To be honest, you can't break it up. It'll be you can try to splice it in, but nothing's gonna sound as good as if you can get it all done in one take. Deep breaths, train that diaphragm, taking a lot of air. It's like you don't run out halfway through and then sound like a horse.
So in instances like that, it's again just practice and working on breath control and breath capacity. And it's just like with it enhancing your range, it's going to take time and it's going to take a lot of practice.
So let's move on very quickly to the last little bit, which will answer your question.
Yay!
When it comes to editing, I think all of us are now editors. We're at varying degrees now. When it comes to editing, this is a time you will be here forever.
You're going to be doing this more than voice acting if you start editing.
If you choose to be an editor, I mean, and there's a market for that, man. That's what I'm majoring in, sound engineering. So when it comes to fan dubbing, what we do, we literally have to remove the vocal track.
The entire audio track.
We don't just take away the vocals, we don't just take away the music, we completely remove the track. We have libraries upon libraries upon libraries upon libraries of sound effects.
And music.
Occasionally, we get lucky.
Yeah.
Occasionally, you're able to use
like sometimes there's absolutely nothing going on in the scene. Like for a clip I was doing, I needed rain on an umbrella. I couldn't find that sound anywhere. But luckily, in the clip, there was no music, no one was talking, no other sound, so I was able to rip it from the scene and use it for that part, and then use it again later for when people are talking and there's music playing and people are running around.
I should probably mention that we don't claim like that we own anything that we do.
Right.
No.
Never do that.
A big
You'll get sued.
thing that we say is always support everything we do.
Yes.
We have the CDs, we got it off the game disc, we got it off the DVD disc. You have to support. And the biggest thing is, if you want these to keep coming out, all your favorite anime on DVD, on anything, you have to support it.
Yeah, support me.
Moreover, thievery is bad, y'all.
None of that Yarhar Fiddle Dee stuff.
Yarhar Fiddle Dee.
To be honest, music for free. If you really want to do something, odds are you're going to choose something you like. Odds are you already have a DVD, a Blu-ray, the game that you can just kind of screen cap from.
You guys are into new, right?
No, one.
One? Oh, sorry, you're the 2 hour man.
Yeah.
No problem.
Sorry.
You are amazing. We love you. He's doing very great.
You have no idea how much that just scared me. I thought we just lost an hour of our panel. Because essentially the next hour, because this is essentially coming to the end of what we have written down. The next hour will be Q&A and
taking
whatever
requests
you want to hear.
Like, what do you think you could do? Just okay.
So, but yeah, editing it's a huge process. You have to have what you're going to edit, the animation. You have to take away the original soundtrack. You're putting in all your own sound effects, your own music, your own lines, your own whatever is going in there.
And like you brought up the subs before when you first wanted this question. If the subs are hard coded into the video, you gotta crop the bottom of the video off if you don't want the subs.
Unless it's the proper format, yeah, those just don't come off. There are certain formats that you can take them off. You have the right converter, but more often than not, you just have to.
If you could find the raws and just double up.
Or just use the dub.
Yeah. Unless, of course, it doesn't exist, in which case. But
yeah, or if it doesn't exist, then you can't really do that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of what we have written down. Now, we really do open the floor. There will be no end to questions until they say get out. So, questions on anything.
Somebody close and lock the doors.
If you'd like.
I have a quick question about the microphone. Is there any way to get rid of that little buzz feedback?
Yes, there is.
And the program we brought up before, Audacity, WavePad, all these audio recording programs have an effect called noise removal. Now what that does is you record a sample of just the ambient noise in your room, or wherever you're recording. You record that, then you activate noise removal, and what it does is it takes that audio sample of the ambient noise in your room, and it remembers it. Then you delete that, you record your line, you then activate noise removal again. What it does is it takes that sample and removes that sample from your recording. So it leaves just your you.
Yep, just your voice.
You can spread the buzz.
There's a lot of balancing issues, though. I mean, you have to do it just right. A sample can be different, otherwise it'll also take away part of your voice, or maybe leave too much of the sample behind.
Usually the default settings are fine. For different circumstances, you may have to start fiddling with your settings, and you have to learn the programs and the effects.
Besides, never expect you know what you're using.
Yeah.
So yeah,
alright, so
I saw a hand.
I've seen somebody's hand. I've seen your hand like forever. We're gonna start at that end this time. How long did it take you to get the first gig?
For me, I'm a really bad example because I got cast right away.
Because he's like all over the place with his
I'm
voice.
all over the place. Usually when I go for a project, I audition for every male role. Even if I can't voice them properly, I go for it just to work on my range, get feedback.
Scott McNeil's a little bit of...
I use the Scott McNeil method. You throw spaghetti at the wall, something's gonna stick. I live by that method. And, but it took me about a week to get cast. But again, I'm a terrible example.
I'm not. It took me forever. Yeah, I was at it for a while. I joined and then I just didn't do anything for half a year. And I went back and I didn't get cast for another month. Maybe another 2 months. It was, and I was auditioning pretty frequently, and it was rough. It does not feel good. I joined in December. Yeah, it wasn't until February, late February, and I got lucky, got a little side role.
Last?
3 years ago. 3 years ago. So yeah, we've been at this for a little bit.
Yeah, we've been at this all for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think it took me about 2 to 4 weeks until I got like a really good mic, and then I just started getting roles. Well, not a good mic, but close enough. So yeah.
Okay. For me, it took about like 3 weeks to a month and a half, something around there. Bit of audition process. I got scouted for a couple things because networking, and I knew people were like, oh yeah, here, be the rock in the corner. But then, after a while, they're like, this was awesome. I want you in this, and I'm just like, yes. And my quotient's gone up from there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe after you get cast once or twice, people start hearing you, and you've got to gain the experience. It'll start happening more and more. But like I said before, much like the professionals, when you're not recording for your project, you're recording for auditions.
Mm-hmm. I've been seeing your hand for like
It's been a while.
And your dawn, so. Oh, I can't tell from here. I'm sorry. Looks great though.
Oh, well, is your book still out? Oh, it's time to open your script. Okay.
They have them available.
Tara and Yuri are selling this selling their book and the accompanying warm-up CD in the autograph line during their autograph sessions, which I know Tara's got one. No? Don't they both have one today?
They don't have one today. If they don't both have one today, they'll both have one tomorrow. Regardless, I think they've been selling it throughout the con. If you don't know where you can go and find it, they are in the autograph line. Stand in the autograph line, ask if they have it there, you can buy it, and sign it immediately.
There you go, and they'll sign it right there.
But they're definitely ones to ask. I don't think they have it in the dealership. So.
Otherwise, Amazon, eBay.
There's sites,
book sites.
Okay, I'm calling on you.
So where are most of the jobs that have to cause you to relocate?
Okay, well, that gets a little out of what we're talking about, but when you are doing something professionally, it's still mainly in studio, so I know it'll be hotspots are
LA, New York, Texas, Toronto, in Canada, there's also yeah, places like those. The main hotspots for movies and acting, it's going to be in those areas. Also, I would throw out San Francisco as well, because there's a lot of game companies in San Francisco, and a lot of games means a lot of voices. So there's also places up there that you can try. And again, LA, New York, Texas, Toronto,
Canada.
Yeah.
And let's get this out in the clear. This is where the big ones are. This is where if you're
where the paid work is.
Yeah, this is where if you're gonna go and try to make your money and work 2 jobs, you work 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 jobs to finally afford to live off this. As far as other work does, there is work around home. There's always work around home because voiceover isn't just voice acting isn't just
it's not video games. I mean, there's always radio spots,
commercials,
audio
video games.
spots, radio TV, like audio books, instructional videos. There's all this stuff all around.
So you have to.
That wasn't a joke.
Ladies and gentlemen, I believe I shot this Alright, anyways, but yeah, so you have to realize smaller things. I mean, if you just want to get your feet wet and start putting out demos once you feel you're up to it, around home, there will always be little radio spots. But the big ones are, yes, LA, Texas, New York, Toronto. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff around Canada, Singapore, and way off. But I mean, just as far as the US is concerned, you're in the right state.
I just remembered what that
Right
is.
stage exchange
Yeah,
for longitude last.
The Q&A.
Yeah.
Don't know what they're playing.
Johnny! Sorry, so yeah, so now we got great backing music. Thank you, Einstein! So now Well, we have amazing backup music. Who wants to ask the next epic question? Yeah. Alright, we start on that side.
This side? Really?
You're jumping out of your chair.
I am jumping out of my chair. I've had so many exciting things that I've gotten to do. And, oh my gosh. So I gotta pick one of the most exciting, fun lines or just characters? Anything. I got to play Rock in a Corner. That's tough. But in the reel there, Steamon from Gurren Lagann is just so much fun, and it's so incredible. And we haven't done his gig of Drill Break, but I've done it on my own a few times. So hold on, I'm gonna stand over here away from the mic so I don't break it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached that point in the show. Beware.
Brace yourselves.
Oh God.
My drill is the drill that will pierce the heavens! Kick off! Drill break!
And actually, before we move on, that did remind me of one thing we didn't go over, which was maintaining.
Yes.
Your tool, your vocal coach.
Speaking of which, Anath?
Oh, yes.
After that.
We all had, we came prepared. Sir, you need...
Wait.
Water.
I need water. Oh my God.
But yeah, water is absolutely necessary. You have to keep your tools lubricated.
Hydration is good.
Yeah, you have to keep hydrated. You have to keep lubricated. You have to know how to take care of it. Otherwise, yelling like that will cause you to blink. You will be coughing up blood. You will be sneezing.
I've done that before.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
You will feel pain in places you never thought you had.
As an example, I actually have to say, who knows Mike McFarlane, Master Roshi in Dragon Ball Z? I guess we know.
Buggy the Clown.
Buggy the Clown, yes. There was one character he played during Dragon Ball GT, the Land of the Epic Screams,
Where he had to have a voice like this, and he had to scream like this in the middle of a fight for hours upon hours in a recording session. You can imagine how that feels. Not good.
And this all goes back to two things. Water and warm-up.
Water and warm-ups.
It has to be done. If you don't warm up, if you don't warm up, it's going to be terrible. You're going to damage the top, bottom, middle of your throat. You're going to damage parts of your chest. You'll be out of commission for days on end. And I mean, it's the same thing again. If you're here to hear the panels that the other voice actors are giving, they will all parallel this. They will have stories about going in there, yelling for hours on end, and not being able to speak for the next 3 days.
Sarah's
Oh,
we almost forgot to finish your question.
so my most exciting role, I have plenty, but I'd say one of my favorites is Alphonse Elric in Full Metal Alchemist. Let me think of a line. Brother, I could never hate you!
If we had a metal bowl, it would be perfect.
The microphone's close enough.
Anath?
Okay. Well, I'm not going to change my voice as much as the other two did, because I had one of the most happiest moments of my VA career when the city of O2 came out and Laguna Lore sounded like me! It was amazing. So, I mean, I guess that would be kind of pointless just to show you my voice. Oh, you mentioned Kyoya.
I did mention Kyoya.
We can mention Kyoya. A slightly different version of my voice. Okay, so people have watched Oron. Give me a line that's not dead. I'll do that in the comments. Give me a line that's not dead.
Yeah, you will. By the way, I'm just
Can you tell us if they are dead? That line about him telling Haru.
You still owe your 80,000 yen debt.
So, wait, hold on, that line was,
Just so you still owe your 80,000 yen debt.
Yeah.
You know I've watched it. I introduced you to it.
you still owe your 80,000 yen, Haru.
Oh, Mommy dearest, that was beautiful.
I'll have to do Tamaki eventually now.
Thank you.
Daddy. And voicing too. Daddy.
Alright. Oh, my turn, huh? I already did Gilgamesh, so I'll pass on Gilgamesh. She's one of my favorites, though. Oh, I know. I was a giant fire-breathing lizard named Charizard once. That was fun. Here we go. I'm just gonna go.
We have plenty of time.
Yes, so I saw your hand like forever.
Have you guys ever like thought about like actually auditioning for a professional role?
Absolutely.
Yes.
We actually know people who have. A couple of people in my projects have done that. We won't drop any names because it might make people mad. Yeah.
I mean, I have actually. I didn't make it. It was for some company was wanting someone with a medium low voice to do their intro to their site.
Oh, I have.
Yeah,
I remember.
And so I got that. I was so disappointed when I didn't get it. I mean, I dream about the next audition every single day.
I got one. I actually got cast as one once, but then they just kind of dropped off the face of the earth and it didn't happen. Where I was going to be a narrator for children's books, for children's storybooks, and everything just kind of collapsed and never went anywhere.
I completely forgot. I did audition before for like an RC commercial, but I'm actually going to be in. Who's heard of Wing Commander? Anybody? Oh, have you heard of? There's a game coming out that's going to be on the internet. They're in beta testing right now. Wing Commander Saga. I am voicing Sandman, the main character. That's something going on there, and we're currently in like the ending process. It should be finished by the end of September, so look out for that. It's going to be awesome because you get to be me and please don't die.
Oh, I always dream about professional voice acting. I'm actually hoping to prepare a demo soon and send it out to a few corporations. But I don't know when that's going to be. Hopefully by the end of the year. So, wish me luck. Thank you.
I haven't heard from Mr. Blue Shirt too much.
I'm just wondering, have you guys ever done like any maybe small roles in like actual anime?
Yes.
You have?
Small roles?
In action?
Oh, no. I caught stand-ups. I'm sorry.
I was like, when did you do that and why did you not tell me? So, no, we have actually not gotten our foot in that door as far as I know.
But no, I mean,
we hope to. We know people who have, once again.
Yeah,
but no, we can't.
Given a measure of time, it's only a matter of time before we put ourselves into a position where we can go out and audition actively, get those small parts, bigger parts, whatever is there. It's just right now we're not exactly in the greatest area for that.
We know people who are.
We don't have the funding to move to the greatest area.
We don't
have the funding. So I mean, not yet.
Not quite.
On the screens. I saw the front row.
From which character?
Oh no.
Your Naruto. I'm not. So to Hinata.
Okay.
I love confession.
Okay, I haven't done Naruto in so long, but...
For making that transition, there are things. I think Anath has an answer since he was Mr. Gigglemeister.
Okay, so like I said, I grew up with an accent, so I have a bit of practice trying to switch it to this.
Actually, why don't you give them your natural accent? They haven't heard that yet.
Oh,
tropical accent.
All right, so I'm from the Caribbean. I'm from the lovely island of St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands. And essentially, it comes out like this. Hey man, what's up? Come on line by me one time, yeah? It's what everyone assumes it's Jamaican to be. only a bit more refined because we have a lot of British influence.
And less happiness.
Sadness. But when you look just for general ideas of how to start picking up an accent, movies.
Movies, short films.
People who you know have an authentic accent.
There are also accent books, accent CDs.
Yeah, there's CDs you can listen to, audiobooks.
The way I learned quite often was become my favorite accent, because it wasn't quite natural to me when I first started with my Irish accent. I listened to Daniel Day-Lewis. I did. Just straight up Daniel Day-Lewis. Other things, I mean, if you have someone who speaks an accent that you love, and you listen to it enough times, you'll be it's the same way people get their Arnie impression and their Sean Connery impression.
Stop touching my cookies! No!
Boy, would you lay off?
But yeah, and that's basically it. You listen to it enough times, it takes time to work it out, work it into your own system. Pink hair. Suggestion.
Oh.
There you go. Find some way to hear it and emulate it.
You had another question a while ago. I went to answer her question. She's had one for a while.
I was just wondering, what are your sometimes when I read the ones that I try to do what that hasn't come out.
Manga. Either way, hey, books. That's basically it. Basically, that's a great way to practice just anything really. It's like you can do it with TV or books or anything, and you just like, let's go to, and it's a great way to practice, like, read a book out loud to yourself in different voices, or like, if you see something on TV that you really love, it's like, oh, cool. And if you practice with things like lip flaps for dubbing, you could just mute your TV and see if you can follow along, and just be like, okay, blah, blah, blah. And if you happen to have it on DVD, you can rewind and see if you can match it up.
And two things.
Most of the time, people want like more original ideas, like you like write your own stuff just out of nowhere. Like, you will not get away with this, and just random stuff like that. But yeah, it's okay. Honestly, I know I've had like pre-made stuff that I've just revoiced in my demo reel before. So yeah, that's totally fine.
As far as one thing I'd like to point out is when it comes to the manga and the and all that, it helps because you have to be able to read. You have to be able to read quick, you have to be able to read on the fly, you have to be able to emote off reading. So make sure that, I know I don't have to tell you guys, make sure you can read, like legitimately read and speed read and actually comprehend everything, so.
How about the one with the blue shirt?
Okay, would you attempt to do Tamaki's voice? Just attempt it.
You're going to have to come up here for a demonstration.
What?
I need help with the Tamaki line.
You're going to have to go.
You put yourself to the wolf now.
Round of applause for the lovely lady.
I got the mic. Never calls me to do it. What's your name?
Katie.
Well, Katie, this is what I need you to do. We're going to drink some coffee. Please, partake of this coffee.
But I think my father will be mad if I drink this.
What if I let you drink it from my mouth? Applause! Katie, thank you.
Oh, look, she's watching.
Princess.
Go, you right there?
I should take this one all the time. Oh my god. Okay. So, a lot of times, I'm bored. I decide to pop in, say, Final Fantasy VII. I'll pop in Final Fantasy VII, and it's like, there's no voices in here. What should Tifa sound like? Well, you see, I do the final heaven and I punch people in the face and I just make Tifa sound like just the one. Because why not?
This dude's crazy.
And, woohoo, I So yeah, I do that all the time. I use it to practice some of my voices and just have a whole bunch of fun. And usually we're talking on Skype. It's a program that's just for like group calls over the internet. And we'll do that. And I'll just pop in like Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8. And I'll just start reading the dialogue as one, just in a funny character voice. Everyone will start cracking up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Tell you, when you first hear Tifa, who sounds like Christopher Walken, you don't forget that. That haunts you for a little bit. You have this figure of Tifa walking.
It doesn't help that she had a line that said, you know. It's like, oh no. You're gonna sound like Christopher Walken from now on.
Another question. Oh, Skype. Yes, you mentioned Skype. Skype is actually something that a lot of people use for networking. Even some of the pros they use for connecting with people.
Some give lessons over Skype.
Yeah, some give lessons, not vocal coaching, but lessons. Just stop that. But yeah, and it's a great way to network and keep in touch with people, and it's the easiest way to have like you need to get a cast together real quick, and they're like, oh, but I'm all the way in Canada, and I'm all the way in Japan. It's like, oh, well, get on Skype. Oof. And you get a little chat room.
Yeah, we've met people from all over the world. We've got friends in Australia, Britain, New York. So a lot of you, mostly US people. We got
Northern Finland
and Australia, places like that. Swear to God.
Wait, we were in Northern Finland a while ago. Okay, on YouTube there's an insight, and this is a funny story. On YouTube there's an insight to all your videos. Me. Apparently I'm very big in Northern Finland. Go figure. Yeah, because I just scream Finnish, don't I?
I'm big in Sweden, actually, I think. It's rather weird.
I'm big in America.
It's like, oh, you're so amazing, why don't you bring him chocolate and cheese?
I want to do chocolate and cheese.
I know this wasn't a Spanish accent, it's a German accent, but I don't care, I can't do Spanish.
I see a few new faces.
New faces.
New faces, do you have questions?
New faces. Oh my God. Of course.
I love Monty Python.
My uncle. No kidding. No, I'm not old. But yes, Monty Python is very, very. We have seen.
It's actually, I'm actually really happy that you compared it. I'm really happy that you compared it to them. That actually makes me feel really good. We have a similar relationship as those four boys. We're always together. Well, maybe not physically, but we're always talking to each other. So
we hate each other's guts.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. I saw another question in that direction. Yes. Awesome hair.
Dude, your hair is amazing.
Thank you. I'm terribly sorry to ask or say
Don't worry about it.
There are no bad questions. Of course.
What precisely is your Audacity experience?
Okay.
Experiences.
We can give a slightly more detailed one than we usually
start.
Instead of just a more advanced version of our intro then.
Oh, our professional experience.
I have one, and I know you haven't.
I have one.
We'll go through a more advanced version of our intro. What we've done from amateur to a pro.
For amateur to more pro stuff. All right. Well, I started last year with amateur work. You know, getting into we're dubbing some random stuff from Final Fantasy Visaya. Oh, we're dubbing some One Piece stuff. Ooh, B8. And that stuff was fun, and getting more and more. I still do that. And out of the blue, thank God, these people came to the website looking for stuff for an actual game. And it was, I auditioned for like one of the side characters because I'm just gonna see if I can get my foot in the door. And they're like, well, we'd like you to audition for this person. And the character's name was, I think it was like Joseph Sandman McCarter or whatever the heck his name is. And so I'm like, oh, cool, okay, who's that? He's the main character. And I'm like, cool, I'll be one of the main characters. And so I auditioned, and I got the role. And it's going to be released at the end of September. And, it's like one of those, like Star Fox combined with StarCraft, I don't even know. But yeah, we commanded Saga. And I was shocked because, I'm like, not even 22 yet. I'm 22 now, but I was like, I'm barely like in my 20s. This can't really be real right now, and this was in my mind. Thank you for the drums. But yeah, and
it was montage.
yeah, montage time again. But no, and then I told them, I'm like, are you sure that there wasn't anybody better? And they're like, no, dude, you were the best we got out of like got out of 30 people. Anyways, I'm gonna try and finish it in tune. No, but yeah, and they said, yeah, well, no, but we want you to be the main character. I'm like, okay, I'll be one of the main characters. I'm like, no, you're the main character. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, when people play this game, they're playing as you. That's how main you are. You never leave the game. You don't die unless they die.
That's their fault.
Yeah, that's their fault. That's not your fault. Your character never goes like, I can do it. Yeah, so that's my experience right now.
Professional?
Yes, professional.
I have not done anything professional. I am still in the amateur phase, but one of these days I hope to get a demo out and send it to a few companies, like I said earlier. So, yeah, I hope I get there.
Things are breaking everywhere. No, I started my amateur career a while back, a couple 2 or 3 years ago, and I got definitely friends, ran right through it. So like I said, it took me forever to get involved. Once I did, I've steadily been getting better and better. I think I'm finally hitting a decent stride now. So like Sarah, I'll put together a demo reel, shipping that out left and right. And for now, I've been in one professional project that, of course, we didn't get paid for, but hey, whatever.
Yeah, something.
Exactly.
Something for resumes, get your name out there.
So yeah, I mean, it was fantastic. I got to play, I essentially played Soldier B, which was great, because I got to go around yelling, aha! I shall get you now! And they go, oh, actually, that's exactly how it sounded. My other two little work things was the one I said I auditioned for, the one for the business that I unfortunately missed out on. I auditioned for that, got called back, and then was told no, I just wasn't what they were looking for. And I had one more audition that I just never heard from again, which probably means I didn't get it. It was just another one for this little online commercial or something, and it was
visit Google.
No, it was something more like you have a business. People see the business. Post what we have on your site and get paid. Or something like that. And I sent that away and they were like,
voice the intro on our site and get paid.
Or no. So they're like, yeah, that's exactly what we're looking for. Never heard from them again.
My journey begins many moons ago. I was but a wee lad of about the same height. Fast forward. Oh, fast forward. Okay. So, my journey began. I go to a couple other conventions, and I work at these conventions. Not this one because I want time off, but I work on staff at these conventions, and one of them has a staff barbecue that goes on every year. At this barbecue, I met an amateur voice actor by the name of Riku, and he's been in some stuff by like, who does the Parody Rangers? Is that Eagle Ranger? He was in the Mighty Morphin Parody Rangers, he was in a couple others. I think he works with Eagle Ranger. I'm trying to remember. Oh, wow. But, no, figure. But I met this guy, and he's the one who told me about the voice acting alliance, and I signed up, and like I said before, I was kind of like iffy, and then I saw MasaVox, and then I auditioned, and went downhill from there. But, there was this one project one time where, I brought up earlier, where it was narrating for children's storybooks. And I got the role, and I sent in some lines, they didn't quite like it, so I sent in some more lines, and they liked those, they still wanted to tweak a little bit, and then they disappeared from the face of the earth, and I have no idea what happened to them since.
Yep, that's the breaks. That'd be the breaks.
Yeah, so that's our pro experiences. Anybody who has not asked a question yet, we have about...
We see a bunch of new people.
20, 25 more minutes.
So, anyway, so those who just walked in there, hello you, hi. How you doing?
I admire your impressive size.
Do any of you have questions? Once you just walked in, maybe something we might...
You want to wonder what the heck we are?
Or are you just here looking for the guy?
All right. So anybody else have questions? Red lady, friend of Katie.
I was wondering if there's any stuff out there that you would if you could get a professional role that you would want to do?
Absolutely.
Kateko Hitman Reborn. I want to be in LA when that is officially licensed. I want to be there. Oh my gosh, like so bad you have no idea.
I also, I'm pretty sure some of you have heard of Puelamagi Madoka Magica. Anyone? Yes?
Oh, bam.
Bam, I want to be Cube. I don't care if people hate him.
Yeah, hold on. You might go through that anime name just a little bit slower?
Okay, I'll just call it Madoka Magica. I love that anime to death. I worship it. One of the characters I really want to be, and I just want, and sometimes I voice him just to practice my high range, is Cube. Everyone hates Cube, but I don't care. I want to voice him when that time comes.
There are two anime out that I'm actually fairly interested in that are only in the subspace. First being Exorcist.
Yes!
But unfortunately that's been licensed.
Viz.
And the second one...
Wait, who do you want to be?
Don't make me remember.
I would totally be Reen. I think he's thinking Yukio. Yeah, I would love to be Reen. Yeah. And just yell at people and...
Aside from that, there is Mayochiki that just came out.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Maoru Penguin Drum. I'm like the only person I know of who's ever worked on that, and it's amazing because there are penguins that like...
They chop cucumbers like beef.
Yes, among other things, they sneak into houses and trains and kill bugs with random bug spray. Mine just shoot down cockroaches. It's awesome.
And the final one that I'm interested in is Dantali no Shoko. And that one is fairly new. I don't know if any of you will know. But yeah, there's characters there I'm rather interested in Huey, so that'd be cool.
What are you thinking about Mayochiki? What are you thinking of? What character?
Sakama, Chiken, and Jiro. So we both like would fight for that.
Oh yeah, we fight for that.
For me, I really don't keep up with the most recent anime. I'm very bad about that. But actually, there was one thing that was never really licensed, and it's a much older anime, and it's called Kinnikuman. There you go. And others may know that in America as Ultimate Muscle.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Now we got people know. But Ultimate Muscle is actually a sequel series to a much older anime called Kinnikuman, which is a wrestling anime, but a very shonen, Dragon Ball Z-esque wrestling anime. And I don't, it's not going to happen, but I'd like to see that dubbed one day because we only got the sequel series and I'd really like to see the original one dubbed.
If there was ever a video game though, has anybody ever played the Tales of Games, Symphonia Abyss? I would totally voice Jude Mathis from the future Tales of Celia. It's not even released in Japan yet, but I know it's coming.
I wouldn't voice Jude, I want to voice someone.
I was like, don't make me hurt you.
Don't hurt me.
I'll go to LA and be like, hey, this guy just got cast, you're the understudy. What?
So why don't we keep going with that? Are there any future games coming out that we'd like to touch? Well, yeah.
Tales of Grace, Tales of Celia, just all that. Oh, God. Freak. I am. Sam Riegel was Flynn. Oh, my God.
Well, if there's ever a remake of Final Fantasy IX or another Visaya game, and Vivi's in it, I would kill someone to voice Vivi.
You did not hear that, by the way, people. And if you did, you're all witnesses. You're all accountable.
No, you're all accomplices.
You could have stopped it.
You could have.
So yeah, much like Sarah, I'm a Final Fantasy fan. So if they do anything in the future, I'd love to be involved in that. I don't even care about characters at this point. I just want to be involved. I mean, like I said, with the City of 12 coming out, the guy who voiced Laguna, I was stunned to hear because he's something mean. And I would love the chance to steal his job. Whoa! I mean, outside of that, the other games I play are all shoot 'em ups, and that'd be fine just to go around. I need Meg. Get down! Get down again!
Oh my God, I want 10,000 of your babies.
That was Liam O'Brien.
Oh, no, you were here last year.
Liam O'Brien last year.
That's a story for some other panel.
We were at the Steve Bloom panel.
Okay, it's a story for now.
Yeah, we were at the Steve Bloom panel last year, and I think it was next door. And Liam O'Brien was in his autograph section. All of a sudden, we just hear this loud smashing noise. Doors fly open. It's like, oh my God, I want 10,000 of your
babies!
And then he leaves. She doesn't explain anything. He doesn't say hi.
He just goes right back to his autograph.
And then Steve calmly approaches the mic, just goes, Liam O'Brien, everybody.
Sexy Steve voice. So wait,
yeah, I don't know why I posed that question.
So anyway,
because I don't know.
I need to call on somebody because I promised her. Have you finished your video game stuff yet?
Well, I'll just go off of yours, like, I just drew on my nose. But like what you said with Laguna, I'd like to steal the role of Gilgamesh from the guy who's voiced him now. Just because I want to. That's it.
Yeah, so you, I said I got you.
Are there any major voice actors that you look up to?
Every Yuri Lowenthal, if you can hear me. That dude is like inspirational to me, really. Just not just that a lot of voices that I do are characters he's done, like Luke from Tales of the Abyss, Suzaku, Simone, Sasuke, all these, because similar voices. You can't help having similar voices, but then you got your own twist. But there's him, J. Michael Tatum, Troy Baker. Troy Baker is very attractive.
Yeah, let's completely skip over the fact that he's incredibly talented. Let's just go with the fact that
he is extremely. Colleen Klingenbeard is another one though, because she can hit stuff that I'm just like, what? It's just like, oh yeah, Colleen, I was raised a Hawkeye, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, it's like, what?
That's what we get out of this one.
Oh yeah.
Sarah will go straight from being a woman to a young woman.
Yep.
Just like Anna.
Just like.
So my major inspirations would have to be from. I just blanked out on her name. No, not her.
You don't like her?
Mona Marshall. Thank you, whoever. Okay, Mona Marshall. You may know her as the voice of Izzy from Digimon.
Yeah.
She was in Wolf's Reign. I forget the character name though. But yeah, I totally admire her and the fact that she can sound like
Oh man, like I said, every single voice actor I've ever heard I've admired like to no end. The ones that I have a special attachment to are the ones probably that voice my favorite characters. The first one I'm naming really isn't a voice actor per se, so he's an actor, it's Billy Zane, who voiced Ansem in Kingdom Hearts, and I heard that voice and that was like, whoa.
The scenery he chose!
And it's all amazing. I mean, other ones like that. I mean, I adore Liam O'Brien to no extent. Crispin Freeman and my all-time crush, Allie Hillis, and Mary Elizabeth McGlynn.
He's going to a flashback right now.
Okay, Luke. It's Luke's turn because Anath is going to be gone for the rest of the panel.
He's gone. He's going to be gone for a while. A lot of the VAs I admire tend to have these amazing ranges, so I try to emulate them. So like people, he's back, and so people like Frank Welker, Scott McNeil. Another one is now I'm blanking. Curse you, Sarah. Jim Cummings, Patrick Seitz, the one who trades places with Jim Cummings a lot. Oh, John DiMaggio! There we go. Okay.
We got like 10 minutes left.
I'm done
We
now.
have room for a couple more questions. A couple more questions, requests, anything like that. If you've seen our montage.
Time to chew. Let us chew it epically.
Yes, we have time to chew in the last bits of this, like 15 to 20 minutes left, like max.
You said English voice actors, but what about Japanese voice actors?
What about?
Yeah.
Mamoru Miyano.
I'm just going to assume immediately and say I fell in love with Elle's voice actor immediately. Mamoru, my God, he's talented. He's pretty. But
at least I prefer somebody in the same country.
But no, he's incredibly talented. It's ridiculous. Also, Morikawa, who voices a bunch of, I mean, his most well-known one, I'm sure you all know, is Sephiroth. So I mean, there's that, and it's amazing.
One of my favorites is, I believe it was Kazuya Nakai, and you would know from a lot of Japanese roles. He's Zoro in One Piece, Masamune and Sagoku Basara, Gilgamesh in the latest Visaya game. He does a lot of high energy, high impact stuff, and I wish I could get that energy, man.
I wish these people weren't coming to the next panel, we're coming for ours. Whatever's next must be really good.
My Little Pony.
Oh my god, really? I retract my previous statement, but welcome.
Well, what would Mela Lisa sound like, I wonder?
I'm so pathetic. I really need to wallow in.
Oh, stop whining.
I don't even know what a brownie's supposed to wallow in.
Stop whining. Sorry, had to be done.
She's a neat little enchantress.
Oh my god.
You're not getting that panel.
Anyways, this is still our panel. Yes.
One of my biggest inspirations from is, coincidentally, Kugimiya Rie, or Rie Kugimiya, who is the Japanese voice actress for Alphonse. I love Alphonse. Don't question me.
He's blonde.
He is blonde. And another one is Romy Paku. I'm pretty sure you're all familiar with her.
Yeah.
Laurie, Edward Elric.
Visaya.
Yeah. The Dawn from Visaya.
Well, I'm the only one not doing that. Are there any more questions, real quick?
You didn't answer.
I did answer. I answered at the beginning. I said Mamma Miano. I love Mamma Miano. Mamma Miano, Romy Paku, love them. Okay. What is my favorite color? My favorite color is green. Next.
I love the... Oh, sorry. You guys like My Little Pony? Yeah.
Define life. I have a very, what's the word? No, not so much love hate. I have to, what's it called? Stockholm syndrome. I have shown bits and pieces that show so much. I have portions of it memorized. I wouldn't say I like it, but I can tell you stuff about it. That doesn't make me feel too good inside.
Pinkie Pie.
No. Blue shirt again. Old Spice guy, all the way. Old Spice guy or Fabio? Please, ladies. Daddy.
So, with this winding down, come on, a little bit more.
We need something. I don't want to have to just like leave us with some kind of epic scream or something. We're starting over there because I'm saving mine. And I guess we can end it. Should we end it?
Oh, wait. I have a favorite line, but I actually improv this one. But it's one of my favorites. It's, again, Gilgamesh.
You must be the soul that face the blade of legend!
Not that short!
Okay, my favorite one is from Final Fantasy 15, it's like, right? No.
Sugar Rainbow!
Exactly. So my favorite line comes from Saz. Reno does an amazing job on it. We just sit there and what? You think you died, that? You think you died? There's going to be sugar and rainbow? That's it.
I have so many favorite lines.
No.
That's it for
My Little Pony crew may be mad.
My favorite one. It's okay. Little Pony. Go. Let's go to tip line. Think about it.
Fine. I'll bust mine out. Okay, so I said mine. And that's mine. No. But anyways, one of my favorite lines that I've ever had to record, because my mom was wondering what the heck I was doing. What happened? Who's here has seen Code Geass? Yes, thank you. You saw it earlier. And basically it's when Gino kind of is like, oh, Suzaku, you're so awesome, I'm gonna hug you. And he goes, oh, Gino, I know you're from a great noble family, but can't you act more normal? By the way, you're amazingly heavy.
Okay, I think I got one of my lines. I need to stand up for this. It's not gonna be super loud, but it's from I'm pretty sure you people are familiar with Street Fighter.
What you mean, you people? What you mean?
Oh, God.
You people.
Dude.
like Charlie.
Bust it out. Don't kick nothing. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, that will bring this panel.
Wait. I gotta do Deadpool.
Oh God.
Who wants a hyper combo?
Boom, boom, be-doo. Help bomb in your face. Feel the love of a hyper combo. And it's a home run. This is the hyper combo. Ladies and gentlemen, did you have a good time? Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. We do. Enjoy the rest of the con. We will see you next year. Hopefully, tell them you loved us, please. Sing the cupcake song.
Pleased that I know this, but I know the lyrics. All right, now I can't sing, but I know the song, so I'm gonna try. All you gotta do is take a cup of flour, add it. Did you? Oh my God!
Mind you, he's a man.
Yeah. So the beach. All you gotta do. Wait, what?
What's going on here? How dare you interrupt me?
And his cupcakes.
And my cupcakes! You do not know how I feel about baked goods.
Oh, God.
No, but honestly, yeah, I'd really rather not go into police.
We should go quick requests. Quick requests. Oh my gosh. Characters, blah, 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 that you would like to hear. Oh my gosh. Roxas, Ventus. God, what haven't I done there? Do you have a line from Roxas that you'd like me to say?
No, my heart belongs to me.
My heart belongs to me. And that's basically my Roxas, and bam.
Who will I eat ice cream with?
Go ahead. Who will I eat ice cream with? Well, why? I don't care. I haven't played it. Who will I eat ice cream with? Okay. How the heck will I voice this when I'm not getting paid?
That's fine.
Okay. Half the characters in the series. Darkness. There you go.
Take a look at this tiny place. To the heart seeking freedom, this island is a prison, surrounded by water. And so this boy sought out to escape from his prison. He sought a way to cross over into another world, and he opened his heart to darkness.
Okay. I know now, without a doubt, Kingdom Hearts is light!
So you have come this far, and still you understand nothing. Every light must fade. Every heart return to darkness.
They played the game more than I have. I played it just once and I was like, I'm good. So, anything else you'd like us to bam? I'm sorry, what? I honestly cannot. I have.
Well, Lucky, what's going on here? What are we doing today? It's really the closest thing.
Pink hair? Right there?
Pink hair, okay. More Charizard. Oh, more Charizard. More Charizard. When you yeah. Oh my gosh. I like your cosplay. No. I just said I like it. 90s cartoon. 90s cartoon.
There we go.
Just say these.
Probably the original.
There it is. Sarah.
Oh, that's a.
Just say Pokemon.
Oh,
Just say Pokemon. We got 5 minutes. Say Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Yeah. So, Anath, you have somebody. We're like rushing right now. Okay. Bam.
And happy.
Your chimney bang, put them in a bottom rock. And then you take that bottom rock, and then you put them back in here. And then you get this guy with the bottom rock.
Yeah, I promised this kid back there. I promised him back there that I'd get him.
I'd like to hear your ring Ashley.
Oh my gosh, they want me to sing.
Yeah.
When a stranger's in love, you know the rules, and so do I. There you go. You've just been rickrolled by Timothy Morris. One last one, Mickey, right here. You've been wonderful this whole time.
Well, we can put a whole part.
Oh my gosh, do you realize what jobs you want to do? Well, totally. Oh yes, so. Roles we were. So I'm gonna.
Don't